beautiful day to another video with all of you, my brothers and my sisters. I love you just like I love all of my father's words. I don't, I don't even know. I don't even want to say all day, but I'ma sing anyways because I love you all. So welcome to another show, another edifying time, another long projected of life. I don't know the proper word to use for that situation, but I try to make it work. Okay? So please do not bombard me with these comments in the messages. I will preferably honestly, if you want to throw me a flower, I highly appreciate it, okay? Okay, just one more note. Hello. Hello. All right, that's it. All right. End scene. All right, let me stop. All right. Beautiful day, my brothers and sisters. Of course, we're here as always. You know, courage in the testing of good, positivity, love, and not hate. All right. Now, what is today's topic? As always, well, refraining from the fact that we speak of nothing but edifying of ourselves. So please take your popcorns, your biblioteca, your Bible, get your remote, whatever you want to call it, a remote. I don't know, but yes, it's always a good time for us to always learn to do better in the spirit, to work the spirit in the flesh, not to let your spiritual work be of flesh, but everything that is in the heavens is on the earths of our Father's will. So it's made manifested. All right. So for being in our greatest of examples, Amisi, Yahushua, Yahusha, in him, Eli, our Yahuwah, our Elohim, our Adonai. Okay? Now, today's topic, brothers and sisters, is of the fact that we got haters. Mind you, I keep my watchful eye on the discernment of what is truth and what is lies. Now, people can talk of truth. Characters also matter. The aspect of your belief also matters. What you say also matters. Who you are also matters. The example that you show also matters. You can be broke, homeless, and I would prefer listening to you being broke or homeless than a therapist. Because why? Looks don't matter. It don't. It really don't. Now, in the cordial understanding of a cardinal aspect, to some, it does because of a practice lifestyle that is being obtained to the general public. Now, this is a very negative sense, but it's not necessarily the best to say that it's bad in general when it's really not. Because it doesn't matter the type of good that you do, is are you glorifying our one and only, our Elohim? That's where it comes at. Because a lot of people, when it comes to our understanding, they don't understand that truth is factored, right? When it comes to either revelation, understanding of wisdom that's given to you by the Spirit, or the influence of our Creator's wisdom, His truth, right? So, revelation is always what? First thing, there are only three categories. I mean, there are more, but we're just going to make it very simple. First thing is what? The will of our Father being manifested. Second, His word, right? Which is logic, sound, and lawful, right? And third, truth, which is all of it in one. So, truth, His word, and His will. Revelation. See, when people want to give you an understanding of man's logic, just like how we have our Father's law, right? And man made their own law, right? This is where separation comes from. Because we have interpretation and we think that it's of the Holy Spirit. It's one thing if you don't know, you just don't know. There's some things that we're not supposed to know. I can promise you that. If I don't know, I'm not going to tell you I don't. I'm not going to tell you I know. I made some claims to some Muslim brothers. They were unable to answer, and they referenced me to Matthew chapter 23, which clearly, right? And it doesn't contradict anything. It just shows a hierarchy of people that are deceivers. 1 through 3, verses 1 to 3, right? And the Muslim brothers, mind you, my statement was, right? Just because I want to give you guys a setting of which you can land your thoughts on what you want to perceive in this idea, right? Or this specific statement. Most of what is truth is being narrated in as a personal truth. So when people say speak your truth, they're only personifying it to have some type of control, or they want a certain outcome that benefits only them and not the will of our Father. So many of the people, mind you, the Muslims, brothers that I was speaking to, and I mind you, this is when I speak of this, I don't disrespect no religion. It's not my job to do that at all, right? Now, Christ made us very wary of the Pharisees and the scribes and many others that are tied to those hands and those acts of fallacious, respondent of things that are not correlated to the truth. Or if they are, is more so propaganda and used to a more evil intent. Christ himself was showing us that the Pharisees and the scribes, the Herodians, the chief priests, the elders, the same ones that are supposed to guard the word, and they're the same ones that transcribed the word over a period of time. And he warned us about that by showing us their behaviors. And they're the same ones that are in power right now that are holding these words and basically governing most of religion that we consider Christianity, either Orthodox, unorthodox, Catholic, Pentecost, Baptist, whatever that you want to consider denomination of whatever that you say that you are, right? They're like, oh, you must listen because the Pharisees, or you could say the scribes, had power. They sat on Moses' throne to basically make that short. And I had to let them know, like, no, we have to understand that Moses made the law. And if you were to tell somebody that they have to listen to you, and throughout majority of the book they're being portrayed as those that are deceivers, and they're those that are called the children of the viper. Why would I listen to such? And I believe in Christ, and Christ is telling me not to what? To be careful of what they say and do not what they do. What is he intending? That they're giving false narratives to the truth. They're telling the truth, but they're still misconceiving the truth, or they're projecting the truth in a negative or deceitful manner that is only beneficial to them and them only, right? So when you have people that are aggressively toned or tuned in their beliefs without really understanding what they're talking or telling people, right? They get very upset. And this is the same thing that I made in my previous video to for us to share, and that I share with all of you, is that if you give me a verse, right, why would I look at any other verses to exemplify a verse that we have not cleared off the table? It's like saying that I'm dealing with a specific song, right? Mind you, I used to do this all the time. Now, it's one thing having fun and just vibing and just taking your mind off of off of one project of making a song, right? If I choose to make a song, why would I go and make another song when I'm not done with the first one that I'm making? That's like basically trying to evade the topic. And no matter how you want to search it or go around it, there's no going around it, because the same ones that we're told to watch out for are the same ones that wrote and transcribed the Quran. But a lot of people are like, oh, they're gonna try to deny it as much as possible, and it's just like the truth is the truth. If you were to tell me truth, I'm not gonna be like, no, you didn't tell me truth. I'm gonna be like, yes, you told me truth. You told me truth, and it's my job to understand the truth and to keep the truth and to make sure the truth continues to be the truth. I don't like nitpicking. I don't like projecting narratives of negative intent. It's not my job to judge you. But when you start making jokes by muting people on your panel and then trying to overspeak and then trying to do this, it makes you and the rest of your religion look bad. Because if I come at you respectfully and I only ask you questions and I'm not saying nothing to disrespect your religion, and you're only getting impatient and feeling some type of way, that's on you. I came to you, and of course, you have every right to do what you want to do on your panel. But the image that you leave for the rest of your religion, for those who are actually walking in love and in truth, they don't do that. You're looking for a cause of a problem. And this is another reason why I really don't believe. That's just one out of many reasons. I don't believe in Allah. And just to second that, right? Now, if anybody before they read the Quran, right, they say they take refuge with Allah, right? Mind, I'm gonna repeat this again, because it's not just the Quran, it's also the Hadith, right? It's also the Injil, it's also the Sakura, right, and the Bukhara, right, and many other testimonial books that that is connected or relevant to Islam, right? Many, if not all, supposed to say that they take refuge with Allah from Shaitan, the deceiver. Now, when we look at the word from, that means a starting point from where something originates. Now, if you were to use a word to project, to be against, you will use a word that can make sense in that logic of that term. If I say, I used to, or let's just say, I want to eat with this person from a restaurant, right? The restaurant and that person are correlating. The persecutor, you never said that Allah is a good in that prayer, because that's basically what it's called. It's called a prayer, right? It's considered a prayer. To make it in the English short term of a conclusion, it's a prayer. With and from, right? Not not against from shaitan, but you make a prayer saying with Allah, not from Allah. You seek shelter from Allah against shaitan, but with Allah as if you're equals. When you do something with someone, you are with them in the sense of them being in the same somewhat of a level with you. And from, it's an original state from where it comes. So I could say that your Allah is shaitan. And there would be no way for you to go and turn that word around, because you can look up the definition of from and will, and when they're put together in the same sentence, it gives you this type of breakdown of a terminology that cannot be destroyed. This is just deconstructing the basics of reading your own way of speaking. I don't know if you want me to use translation to go to your original, right? To go to your original language, and you want me to bring it forth, I can do that as well. And mind you, this is not me saying that, mind you, while I'm on here, and this is not me saying that, oh, I hate you because I don't worship, I don't worship shaitan, right? Because a lot of people, they can disagree. But a lot of Muslims, right, from those that are from Islam, right, they say that the New Testament is irrelevant, when in reality the New Testament existed before the Quran. And that's just a simple fact, right? But this is not me trying to get into a mono debate by myself. But this is just to say that from the previous statement, I could say a lot about Islam that is just very, 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 very much not to my liking as to what I believe. And I respect people that don't believe in the same aspect of me believe, or you could say belief or faith, right? Because a lot of people want to say Muhammad, but then they believe when it comes to Islam, they say that, Isa, right, is still a Messiah. So if you call your Messiah your what, your savior, Isa, and Muhammad is the one and only true prophet, that is contradictive. And you literally will be surprised to know a lot of Muslims that make that claim. And I'm not the type of person to argue. If I can have a conversation with you, I would love to have a conversation with you. And I don't have a problem doing so, as long as respect is shown and you're not cutting me off and you're not trying to prove yourself right, because I didn't come to ask you to prove yourself right. I'm coming to ask you just so you can refine your knowledge and give me the aspect of your perspective, so that it can correlate to my logic, because I have my own perspective of what I believe in. I didn't say that I want to be converted. See, it's like talking is because there are, mind you, right? There are a lot of Muslims that will never be cool with Christians. And there are a lot of Christians that will never be cool with Muslims. And that's where I'm trying to break the icing, because that's where separation come from. We have the New Testament and we have the Old Testament. Muslims, they believe and they took off the Old Testament, but they refused the New Testament. They only took certain portions and removed other disciples, and or you can say, yeah, disciples and witnesses of Christ from the Quran. So to say what? I'm not here to dispel and say that, hey, I hate Muslims. No, I don't. I love everyone. Even those that are Hindu, Buddhist, I love you all. I passionately love you all with the love of Christ, and from the depths of my heart, I love you, even if it was no Christ. But unfortunately, it was Christ that got me to learn how to love. So I'll show you the love that I can. Although I have these differences, it doesn't make me a person to have to judge you or disrespect you. We have to walk as examples. So if you're going to walk as an example, if are you showing the example of peace, love, of truth, and of knowledge, or are you showing war and destruction and chaos and arguments and all of these dispute which create much more problems rather than peace? That is something for people that are watching this, either if you're a Christian, which I don't even consider the word Christian to be something that is relevant. It's more so, do you have faith in Christ who came as our personal example under the conditions that our Father set to his expectations? Because you can say you're Christian, you just and then I can look at you and be like, you believe just in religion, which is just considered a lifestyle of a way of living, but most people don't even live up to the expectations, not even half of it. Most people just go to Sundays, and I call them just like some Muslims. They have 5 percenters, people that are Islamic or that are Muslims, and we have 5% Christians out here. They only go to church on Sundays. They don't even know that Sundays are not reparative to actually going to church only. You are the body, you are the walking embodiment of Christ, as he is of our creator. So as he is unto our creator, we are of him, because he represent us to our creator, so that we are known to be as him, in the sense of being perfect or close to being perfect, to be accepted under the condition that have been set to our Elohim's expectations. It's very simple. It's not hard. It's not breaking news. An asteroid is falling the size of the moon on the earth. No, it's very simple. And that's the reason why, even if we were to look at all of these manuscripts, when it comes to the Apocrypha, when it comes to the Book of Enoch, and all of these extra books, or you can say manuscripts of testimonies of historical facts, right, that can have also been plagiarized, right, and changed to a certain extent, right? It doesn't change anything, because if we can't understand the basics, why would you want to learn anything else that would basically confuse you? It's like learning your ABCs and you just skipping letters. How are you going to know what words means, and how you're going to know how to put words together if you don't even know certain words exist and some don't? You're going to be walking confused. And this is the reason why I ask questions rather than arguing. Because when I ask questions, I'm able to see the perspective of people. So if they are telling me a truth, I'm going to know. And if they're not telling me a truth, I'm going to know. They don't have to know that. I'm just going to ask them a question. What is a truth is a truth, and what is a lie is a lie. So you can't tell me 100%, you feel me, a truth and think I'm going to be like, hey, no, that's a lie. No, a fact is a fact. But you can't tell me 99.99% of the truth and tell me that that is the truth, when in fact that is a lie. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. And most know that the Quran and the Bible are not really too different, besides the fact that Muhammad is preached in the Quran and Christ is the main person talked about. Where, like I said, some people think and say that my apologies. Some people think and say that Christ is the last prophet. Christ was not considered even really a prophet. He was the prophetic messenger sent as the embodiment. He was the teacher. He was everything. He was a priest. He was more than just a prophet. And he was not even considered a prophet. And that's the crazy thing about it. Because somebody's not going to call you master, right? Rather, if somebody, it's one thing if somebody say rabbi, which is teacher, right? And the difference between somebody saying master, if somebody say master, and we know we should not idolize anything of an imagery, right? That means that is what? Idolatry, right? So if we don't do that, we know obviously that Christ is the embodiment of our creator. I might have said that last statement in reverse, but still, the sense is understood regardless if somebody is in pre-K or not that wants to act childish and be like, no, you didn't mean to say this. Somewhat, if you didn't understand what I was saying or what I intended to say, that was still understood. Please, you can leave a comment. I don't mind. But many people have to understand that faith is not the same thing as just doing good work. Because most people are carnal to their understanding when they think good work is just going and giving food and giving money. No, following the instructions of our Creator. And that means what? Don't pertain to the lifestyle of the things of this world. Meaning, don't go out here just because you think that making $1 million is the best way to live when clearly it's not. Because you can see obviously that there are people that are making millions of dollars and they're genuinely not happy. That's why they're always seeking for new things in the world that has nothing to do with our Creator, because they are genuinely unhappy, genuinely unhappy. They are unhappy. Why? Because money cannot buy your happiness. You can People can be like, oh, it's a tool, but there are most people where they never made or never touched $100,000, let alone not even $1 million. So if they ever were to make or touch that type of money, majority of them they haven't even learned the basics of control. Some still go out there, spend, throwing money at a club, at women that are half, if not almost all 190% naked. And that can be another video for another topic. And mind you, I don't judge nobody. Your past is your past. But I find it very hard that you call yourself Christ and you're still doing, if you're not doing all, you're doing some. Some people might be saying, oh, there was somebody that was considered a harlot and she was forgiven. Yeah, she was forgiven because she stopped doing what she was doing. We don't wrestle by the flesh, but the principles and the principalities and the powers of this world that is actually of an influence in a higher plane. Like the name Jezebel, for a lot of people that don't know or understand if that doesn't ring a bell. Can you ring my bell? Ring my bell. I'm a very comical person. I think I would like to I think I would like to use that word to define exactly the situation. But just to say this and ahead of time as well, we all need to understand what is good and what is not, because most of us we have no clue, and that's why there's so much division amongst even the Christians, and some of Muslims they do too. Some Hindus they do as well. And so what do we need to do? Unify, right? Now, I'm not going to sit here and be like, hey, we're going to unify all religions in one. I cannot do that. Because no matter how we want to address it, it always has to deal and it always returns back to the biblical, or you can say the old beliefs of our Elohim and our Adonai. Most of the stories of Enoch around those times and of Noah, right? They are always referencing to what giants, abominations, things that came, beings that came from the skies, the heavens, and also from the abyss, from below, from Sheol. These are beings, right? That when we talk about the Hindus, those are all entities of the fallen, if not hybrids, if not chimeras. All of these entities were mixed breeds. That's why they have um words like Vashnu, right? I forgot the rest of the other names, but I got it. I definitely look into notes. But it doesn't matter to me. But we always know that there's, even when it comes to the Egyptian hieroglyphics, always people half animal, half man, and we talk about the seraphims, the cherubims, right? And all of these beings are not normally placed as the angels that we consider to look human like. Why is that? Even the word Anunnaki, they all come from these races of giants and the fallens. And most people don't want to look at it like that, but that's the truth. My love, that is the truth. No matter how much you want to look at it as, however, even the aliens that you consider aliens, they're all a part of this scam, this sham. And most people don't even know that there is a bloodline that had came from Eve, right? Directly from the garden, that was not from Adam. That was not from Adam. And it was one of the first kids to be born that shed blood of the innocent. Because mind you, Eve was pregnant when she came out of the garden. She wasn't she wasn't pregnant outside the garden. She was pregnant from within. So for those that can't understand what I just said, make it easier to understand. The garden, I'm gonna give you this term. The garden is a nursery. Okay? When somebody say be fruitful and to multiply, and you're taking off the fruit is a foundation of your understanding and is a foundation of an influence, which can be anything: hate, lust, desire. Okay? I'm afraid I do say a lot on here sometimes, more than I should, but of course it's for you all. It's not just for me. It's for all of us, okay? Like this is for edifying. And let's get into the word. And the topic for today says, no matter the good you no matter the good you do, if you're not being used, you'll have haters. And we're going to go and look at the Chronicle of Saints Luke, chapter 5. And why? And what does it say? Of course, we don't have any contradiction in our inspiration of today, but prior to Mark, Matthew, you know, John, Acts, what does it matter what it is? Most of them always talk about the same thing, regardless. Um, I believe this is a paraphrase, or I say paraphrase, a summary of what's being said. And it says, it came to pass when he was in a certain city, right? And this is verses 12 to 13. Behold, a man full of leprosy, who seeing Christ fell on his face and besought him, saying, My king, if thou wilt, and thou canst make me clean. Okay? And what happened next? And he put forth his hands and touched them, saying, I will be thou clean. And immediately and he touched the hands, right? My apologies. And he put forth his hands and touched them, saying, I will be thou clean. And immediately the leprosy departed from the man. Hmm. I guess that is an inspiration right there. Faith. You have to be desperate to want salvation. You have to be desperate for salvation. That's what that basically entails. And being desperate for salvation, some people might take it out of proportion. It's nothing but to say, have faith, have hope. And that's what a lot of people are losing, hope. People want every good, but they don't expect the bad to come. And because they're trained and they've been in so much bad, it's like it's traumatizing, and it's just made them stay in that mental place for a very long time, and so much to a point where they can't think outside of that pain, outside of the expectations of, you know, oh, this can never happen to me, this is impossible. Know what the word creator means, let alone the word what people like to use nowadays, God. And I really don't like using that word because it has a couple of other meanings to it. So I always use creator, my ruler, my master. Right now, let's look into between the summaries of verses 30 to 33. And the statements is said, but their scribes and Pharisees murmured against his disciples, saying, why do ye eat and drink with publications, and sinners? And Christ answering said unto them, they that are whole need not a physician, but they that are sick. I came not to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance. So we are all broken. That's why Christ came. When it came to the fact that we're born under the what? The authority of the word sin that holds us accounted or accountable for the sake of our bloodline and our lineage. That's a thing as well. So we have to stand against it, because if not, their punishment is going to fall on you. It's going to be then called and considered a curse. Hmm. Because why? When you're supposed to do good, people are going to try to come and stop you. And mind you, the word I use, try. If it's the will of our Father, being it so, who's going to stop you? You might fall short, but you don't know if that's in the will of our Creator. You falling short is just basically you being built back up. Somebody cannot intervene so much that they don't even know that by them hurting you that they're helping you. They don't know. Let alone, it's like saying this: we go to court, right? You stab me 20 times, and of course 20 times is a lot, right? But you stab me 20 times and we take you to court, and well, I take you to court, I did, one final on that 20th time, but I never taken you to court, right? I'm never taking you to court the first 19 times, but I've been making a case note on this situation. So now when we go to court on the 20th time, right? What do you think is going to happen? The evidence is going to build up on your portfolio, and I'm going to have what? I'm going to have the objective, well, I say objective. I'm going to have the rights to press charges on you. Because why? You've been doing so much wrong that of your credit of liability upon accountability, when it comes to good and bad, you have no logic or reasoning to be able to differentiate the two. So they're gonna put you in jail. without no season, no seasons. They're gonna put you in jail without any type of extra claim for you to say, "Oh, this person attacked me." If I didn't attack you, I didn't curse you, or I didn't provoke you, right? I didn't say anything to agitate you, and you just sat me 19 times. Now, of course, 19 times is a lot of times for you not to then say something to somebody. But this is just a situation. I mean, technically, we could even say 2 times is enough, but just outrageously, right? Hmm. But unfortunately, my brothers and sisters, this should be the end of the video. I talked about a lot, even some things that I wasn't going to talk about, but I still talked about it because I love you so much. Um, yeah. Mm, what more do I have to say? Yes. Much love to you. All right, and yeah, and of course, like always, you know, you know what I'm about to say. You know what I'm about to say. If somebody told you they don't love you today, tell them I say I love them. And if they don't want my kiss, another one. DJ Khaled, another one. All right? Because why? Somebody greater than I loves you. And you represent him. And you're the image of him. So much love to you all. Take care. And have a wonderful, better day than mine. And also, if you're going to use this video in my statements, please don't take it out of context and use it exactly in the narrative of the truth that is spoken and not just your own understanding and your own truth. Because there's nothing that I said here that's a lie. All right? Ask for discernment. Much love to you and take care. I'm gonna make a little quick little verse right here. Fly me when I'm happy mood. No. Let me say it differently. When I'm in a happy mood, I love to see all of my brothers here. Don't forget about my sisters, because I love them too. I love you all today, and I love you forevermore. Oh, there's no place that there is Christ, than on earth and with our Father. In other words, that hold my hand. In other words, 'cause I love you. I love you.